Now, as China gears up for the US president's first landmark visit here next week, Obama fever is spreading. With anticipation high in the Chinese capital, the UN's Zach Reff went out to find out how Beijingers feel about the 44th president of America visiting China.
In just a few days, President Obama will arrive here in Beijing as part of a four-nation tour through Asia that includes stops in Japan, South Korea, and Singapore. The U.S. isn't the only country in which the president has achieved a cult-like status, and it turns out that many Chinese here are very excited about his visit.
It brings hope to the whole world that he became the president of the U.S. He assures the world that hard work can actually pay off. He's a capable man, he's talkative, and has great skill in delivering excellent speeches.
According to a number of admiring Beijing locals we spoke with, the reasons Obama is revered range from his speaking ability and his looks, to his love of basketball, and even his wife's fashion sense.
His wife is very talented when it comes to fashion, and she is very aware of fashion trends.
But there were also opinions based on more significant matters, and many expressed the view that Obama's visit to China would help strengthen ties with the U.S.
I believe his visit this time will surely boost the relationship between the two countries. After all, it's his first official visit to China.
Obama fans in Beijing can indulge their interest in the American leader by purchasing books and president-related accessories at a handful of shops throughout the city. For example, the Wangpujing bookstore is stocking numerous Obama-related books, including English textbooks that instruct learners on the finer points of speaking like a president, and Chinese versions of the two books penned by Obama himself. However, not all Obama-related material appears to have met with universal approval. Images like these, dubbed Obamao, that appeared on everything from t-shirts to magnets, were recently available for sale at a number of outlets in Beijing, but have now disappeared from store shelves. And it seems that not everyone is so optimistic about the president's visit.
I actually don't think that this visit will help solve many issues, because the Sino-US relationship is a complicated and long-term matter.
Indeed, there's a lengthy list of pressing issues that the president is expected to discuss with Chinese leaders during his time here. Topics such as North Korea's nuclear arsenal, Iran, climate change, the economy, trade between the two nations, and human rights are all expected to be on the table during Obama's three-day tour. According to John Huntsman, the U.S. ambassador to China, the president will focus on both local as well as global issues during his brief visit here.
Discussions here will in large part mirror the ongoing dialogue, which includes some bilateral issues, because bilateral issues will always be part of the U.S.-China relationship, but increasingly the global issues that impact the region and the world as well.
While Obama certainly has many important things to discuss with leaders when he comes here, if buzz on the street and the popularity of books such as this are any indication, he should be warmly received when he comes to Beijing. This is Zach Reff, BON.
And our reporter Zach Reff joins us here in the studio. Zach, very nice atmosphere, it seemed, pretty positive in general.
Absolutely.
Tell me, you interviewed a man in a tux, so why was that?
So the man in the tux was actually there taking wedding photos with his wife, which is pretty common in China. And the area we shot in, Hohai, is a popular tourist destination and has a nice sort of scenic walk by a lake. So I think he was just there dressed up to take nice photos with his soon-to-be wife.
Okay, great. In terms of what responses you were getting from the people you talked to, one of the people you spoke to had a very positive impression of Obama, but a rather negative impression in terms of what results he expected this visit to bring. Was he in the minority there, or were there more people who shared that kind of view?
So certainly most people we talked with were pretty positive about his upcoming visit. With maybe one exception, we talked to an elderly woman, and we weren't able to include the footage. But she had just visited the U.S., and she wasn't as positive as the others. In fact, she called the U.S., I believe she said it was overly aggressive and maybe too arrogant. So it wasn't all positive, but the majority of people were.
And in terms of what you mentioned in the report about the Obamao image, which is this sort of morphed image, tell us just a little bit more about that.
Okay, so it was a very popular design here in Beijing, designed by a local designer in the past few weeks. There have been lots of media coverage about it. We went and we actually tried to maybe buy some of these items or to get some footage of them. But when we went to the store, they were gone. They were totally gone with the exception of one small sticker. So we asked the shop seller if we could buy that, and he kind of hushed us off camera, and he didn't want to talk to us. So for one reason or another, those items are now gone.
Right, and won't be available for the next little while.
Right, presumably until Obama leaves again.
Great, Zach, thanks very much indeed.